Today we continued on letter C of our A to Z family adventure. We normally do our family adventures on the weekend, but this weekend we were at a marriage conference, and although conference would have worked for C, the idea of A to Z family days, family adventures, family date nights, whatever you want to call them, the idea is to do something that's fun for the whole family. So, conference weekend, not so fun for Emmanuel. When you think about the letter C, there are a few words that come to mind, two of the greatest C words in the English language. One is coffee, and one is chocolate. We did experience both. We went to a local coffee factory in Syracuse called Paul de Lima. They have a museum there, and if you've never been, you really should check it out. It's very interesting. We learned so much about how coffee is processed and everything that happens with coffee beans before that, like the growth and the harvesting of coffee. We learned about the different beans. There's the Arabica bean and the Robusta bean. We learned how the Robusta is more of a bold bean. We learned how just the areas of the world, like if you get a Peruvian coffee versus a Guatemalan coffee or a Colombian coffee, how they have different flavors. And the flavor of the bean is affected by a series of things, one being the soil it's grown in, one being the elevation, one being the climate. And since, like an Arabica bean, for instance, takes 6 months to be ready to harvest. So over 6 months, your climate can change so much. You can have a lot of rain or not enough rain. And then the soil it's growing in, depending on the elevation, changes the acidity of the bean, which affects the flavor. There was tasting wheels, because there's a whole process of getting the bean ready to sell called cupping, where they roast the bean, they grind the bean, put the ground bean into cups on a table that spins, and then they put hot water in each, and then they stir it, and they go around and they smell all of them to test the smell of the coffee, and then they skim the top, and then they taste it, and then spit it out, taste it, and spit it out, so they don't ruin their palate between tasting. And it's so, like a whole art, almost like an art of wine tasting, but just totally different, of making sure that there's not a bad bean in the batch that'll affect your cup of coffee. From like harvest to being on the shelf for you to buy coffee, they do this cupping process 3 times. It's really quite amazing. I never thought about all that goes into getting coffee ready for us to drink it. And not only that, but coffee grows on trees, and it's more like it's a cherry pit, and the bean is the pit, and they take the pit, and then they harvest them and they sort them out. In a lot of countries, they sort them out by hand. It's not even a machine. They make sure that they're the right size, the right shape, the right color, and anything that's not good enough gets thrown out, which really makes you think about when you buy coffee beans to make a cup of coffee, you think about what you pay for it. These people that are going through this entire process of getting the bean ready just to be at your breakfast table or whatever.
The harvesters typically produce between 100 to 200 pounds of cherries in a day, and that equals out to about 20 to 40 pounds of coffee beans. And each person gets weighed specifically because they get paid on how much they pick within a day. So, the difference between a couple pounds could mean difference in a couple dollars for them for their wages.
A lot of times, like 12-ounce bags of coffee, like 3/4 pounds of coffee. And if you try to get the cheapest coffee possible, you think about what that person who's harvesting the beans and picking the cherries and sorting through are actually getting. And it's so dismal, it's really pathetic, which is another reason you should go fair trade when you buy your coffee. With Paul de Lima Coffee, not all their coffee is fair trade organic, and part of that is because if a country that produces a fair trade bean has a bad harvest year, say their weather is just bad, just like here, sometimes like we may have a lot of hail that year, farmers suffer. It's the same thing if they have a bad year, because it's 6 months that they're waiting for these beans to be ready. over those 6 months, if they just don't have the right kind of weather, or the soil isn't as rich, or whatever it may be, they can't always get those fair trade beans. They're not always available. We also learned that beans that grow at a lower elevation are more highly caffeinated. We did buy 2 bags of coffee. We got a decaf and a regular. And because there is no such thing as a decaf coffee bean, so the way they make a coffee bean decaffeinated is it goes through a whole chemical process. Unless you get a Swiss water decaf coffee, and they don't use any chemicals to decaffeinate the coffee. So that's the way to go. And the one we got, the decaf, we got a Swiss water decaf, and it's fair trade organic, which it is very difficult to find a fair trade decaf coffee, partially because it becomes decaffeinated because of the whole chemical process, and if you're getting a fair trade, chances are it hasn't gone through that. So yeah, I highly encourage you to check out the factory, the museum, the whole story behind how Paul Taliba Coffee came to be. We're passing it now. There it is. There's the factory. Where we went. Totally solar powered and wind powered. So not only are they ethical, but they also are being economical in environmentally powering their factory, which is very cool. Also, we got complimentary coffee when we were there, so we each had a couple cups of coffee. It was a good time. Even Emmanuel drank some coffee, so that was fun. After we were done at the coffee factory, we went to lunch at Chipotle. Because we do not go there very often, but we do love Chipotle. It's macro friendly and it's affordable, and they use local produce. Then after we went to Chipotle for lunch, we went to the mall, and they have a very large carousel there, which is actually quite a historical carousel. The carousel was built in 1909, and so it's very old, but all the pieces were hand carved. So Emmanuel got to ride on a carousel for the first time, and that was really fun. He actually really enjoyed it and kept making horse sounds, which instead of a sound, his is more. Emmanuel, what does the horse say? So, but it's pretty cute. And because coffee and chocolate are 2 of the greatest C words in the English language, we did stop in at the Lindt chocolate store and just got free complimentary pieces pieces of chocolate. Normally they give out the truffle balls, but they gave out truffle hearts because tomorrow is Valentine's Day. We did buy some clothing. Mitch got a new pair of jeans, and I got 2 new pairs of workout pants, which are very comfortable. And we got a really good deal because I used here's another C word, coupon. Still haven't figured out exactly, we haven't narrowed down exactly what we're going to do for our D-themed family day, but we're thinking about it because we got to do it soon. C was a success, and we had fun, and Annie obviously had a good, exhausting day because he is passed out. I feel like at the end of all of these videos, he's pretty much passed out in the back seat.
Well, see you later.
Yeah, I'm totally cutting it.